but just speaking in football terms, you are entering your 15th NFL season. Saying that out loud, and it's not even me, is baffling. You just re-upped, and we should have told you this at the beginning of the show. Congratulations on ringing up for a 2-year, $5.5 million contract. That's no small feat. That's no small number. First of all, I want to ask you why you feel like at this point you would go back. Like, what about Chicago is so enticing? And, like, what does it mean to be entering your 15th season in the NFL?
Man, I wasn't supposed to have one. To be 15. Honestly, like the one of the lower times was that second year in Houston in 24. It was when I hurt my foot. Thought I was done. Kind of treated that whole year like okay, I'm gonna get back in shape just because. But I'm happy, man. I had 13 years in the NFL. I was like, God has blessed me so much. I love what I've been able to do. The Minnesota Miracle was obviously incredible that season. Got to spend some great time with you guys. Been in the playoffs a bunch. A lot of guys have never made the playoffs, so I can't can't fault and feel bad or sorry for myself. But Ben Johnson called me, 3 or 4 weeks after free agency started and said, "Hey, Case, you know what's so sexy about you?" I was like, "What?" He's like, "I love like the way that you work with young quarterbacks in the quarterback room and developing these guys and like just the mesh and the gel that you can be." And I was like, "All right." He said, "Come on up and we'll talk and make sure your wife's okay moving up to Chicago." I said, "Okay." So I go up there, supposed to have a 15-minute meeting, and it turns into like a 2-hour meeting. And I'm like, I need to be here. So we work out a deal. And last year was just incredible, man. Working with Caleb, and getting to see what Ben Johnson and how good of a football coach he is, dude. You talk about superpowers, man. He's got 5 of them and he uses them all every day, man. He sees the future. He's an unbelievable game planner. He can call plays like nobody I've ever seen. And he's a great communicator, man. And he's humble enough to know that he doesn't know. He's great. I could go on and on about Ben
Please
Johnson.
do. Please do. That was my
But
next question.
He's really, really stinking good. And on top of that, you combine it with Caleb Williams, like Mitch. Mitch, I go into our I go into our protection meetings and I'm like, all right, just block the A and B gaps, guys. Just keep it firm up here. Let him free on the outside. It's very similar to Josh. He gets out of them different ways, but man, like you just can't tackle him in the open field. It's wild.
Was there one moment? So, first of all, I assume you walk in as this guy who's so good with young quarterbacks. You see a young dude who's got all this hype. You saw what he could be in his rookie year. I thought there was huge signs of promise. And then, of course, he explodes onto the scene this past year, not only as a leader, but as a football player.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like? You kind of alluded to it a little bit. What was it like this last year, walking in originally, seeing a guy with, the nails are all painted and stuff like this, but he seems true to himself, seems like a leader of men and a playmaker, all encompassed in one.
Yeah, no, he is what you see he is, I think he's a young kid that's just never not been the most talented kid on the field. The nails thing, I tell him, I'm like, Caleb, dude, every one of my friends ask me about your nails. And I just mess with him. I'm like, yeah. So I don't know what I'll tell him. So but he is who he is. He likes being different and he likes being himself, which is great, and stays true to it. And he's really freaking good at playing quarterback. He's got a freaking hose.
Dude,
and
fucking darts out there.
He does. And people don't realize how windy Soldier Field is. Like, it's whipping and swirling. Even those couple of game-winning touchdowns that he threw against Green Bay, the one in the playoffs, the one at the end of the year, it was like 20 gusts up to 30, and we played one of our worst weather games of my career. I was with you on that rock hard Soldier Field. It was negative 30. That was the bomb cyclone week. Remember, we got the bomb cyclone of snow in Buffalo, got stuck in Chicago for the whole week. And that was the coldest game I've ever played, ever in my life. I don't know about you.
I had a concussion, so I was at home. But it looks. It
Oh,
looks
you son of a gun! I forgot about that.
no, no. I had a bunch of them, so it could be half the
Sucker.
games ever that I ever played. I had a concussion, but I remember you guys were saying like you had no footing.
Yeah, it was like you might as well have should have been out there in tennis shoes because the ground was so hard. It was
Yeah,
wild.
like cleats on
Yeah,
concrete.
just guys. I remember like GVR, Greg Van Roten coming off the field at one point. I have this vivid memory, and he didn't wear, none of the guys wore sleeves,
Yeah.
and it was just like beet red arms, and then just like snot and
Oh,
spit just frozen on his beard. Like
just a
he's just
football.
like, this sucks.
GVR had such as a guy who, Penn guy, Ivy League dude, would also just come up with just like, I'm miserable right now. I hate this. I expect this soliloquy of pain, but he would be
Hmm.
super blunt with it. Was there one moment this past year, whether it was in practice or in a game, one play, one instance where you saw Caleb Williams do something and you're like, this guy's going to be a problem for the foreseeable future for all the opposing teams that play against him?
I would say it probably wasn't a moment most people saw, but it was pretty early in the year. It was, I don't even know what game it was, but it was week 3 or 4, and he just kind of settled in and started playing quarterback. Like it took a while, but he can make the big plays. He can make the splash stuff. Like he can make guys miss, turn around, throw it off his back foot, and win us a football game. But like taking the normal everyday quarterback, like pop, check down, or good eyes, good feet, good ball, like just normal stuff. And I'm like, there it is. Just keep doing that. And then when we need you to be Superman, go be Superman.
Right. Yeah.
Um, and I think I caught Josh in his career where he'd kind of gone through a lot of that and had found his way with both of those things, and just then it's just this Rubik's cube or trying to figure out of when to do that and when not, which you still are, and it's hard. But guys that are that talented, that can make every play, any down, any time. It's it's hard to just throw one away or take the check down when you could. Oh,
Right.
I could have scrambled out and made a big play. So I was just really really proud of him and how he progressed throughout the year. I don't know if it was any one moment. It just kind of like at some point early in the season he just started playing NFL quarterback, and I was like, here we go. This guy's gonna be
Uh-oh.
special.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, exactly.
What
Oh, no. Oh, that's going to
what
be a problem.
yeah. What is it like to I always think of like historic franchises. What is it like, Pittsburgh, Green Bay, and I also throw the Bears in there. The
Hmm.
Bears. What is it
Top
like
Bears.
being part of the Bears? A like historic franchise, being able to play, and then obviously they've had some rough years, and last year you guys balled out and
Hmm.
and turned the whole thing around, and like what I guess explain to us kind of what that was like, and for the city of Chicago, and just playing for some type like a historic franchise like that and
Yeah.
actually winning.
It was special last year, man. I've told multiple people this year, but it was the most fun I had not playing football in a football season. I didn't play a snap, and I'm like, we'd come in after games like, what just happened? Like, not just 1 or 2 games, but like 7 or 8. Like, did that really just happen? Like, what is going on? And that's why I thought we were winning it. I really did. I thought we were going to win it, and I think every Chicago fan in the world did too.
Yeah.
We kept coming through, and it was a defense one week, it was special teams the next week, and it was the offense another week, and um, it just the good, better, best. Coach taking his shirt off. It was
Super hot. Yeah, sick.
he's Jack, man. He's Jack. He's the best.
Jack.
That's his sixth superpower, man.
Shirt off.
It was a special year in that city. Yeah, it's a great sports city. I mean, the Bulls, the Hawks, the White Sox, Cubs. Like, it's a great, it's a great sports city, and the people were. I mean, it's lit this little fire, and you could just see it everywhere.
Yeah,
You could feel it everywhere, and it was really special. It was a
That's
fun one
awesome.
to be a part of, and I'm really excited to be going back. I mean, I want to win one. I've gotten close,
Totally.
and man, I want to win one bad.
What do you think it is? What's the next step? Is it just health? Is it just luck? Right place at right time? Just continuing to grow on the thing you compound?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a multitude of things? Is it a single thing? Like, what's the next step this team needs to take to not only go to the pinnacle of the sport but win it?
Yeah, I think that's everybody's million, if not $1 billion question. Is how do you
Yeah.
get there, and then like the guys that are sitting there, the helmets that are sitting right there behind you, Mitch. How do you get back?
Right.
I think consistency is one. I think we stayed pretty healthy and had an offensive line that was really
Oh.
solid last year. I mean, that
Oh.
was as good of an offensive line as I've seen. I mean, sans 2022 when I was there,
You're pandering some stuff. That's
getting
not
up
pandering.
under somebody's
A little bit
rear
left. Just
hind.
go a little bit left. Yeah,
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
Under
I
Mitch's
remember.
gooch.
All right, so it's not a totally fair question, right? Because to answer that question, there's 1,000 variables that go in.